Hi there, this is Todd Falcone. Welcome to toddfalcone.com. And in today's video post, I want to talk a little bit about keeping your customers. First of all, in today's direct selling network marketing marketplace, we have to have a very big focus on customer acquisition, and then along with that, customer retention. So I remember, since I've been around the block for so long in network marketing, there was a time and day where it was distributor-only consumption, where you would be on an auto ship and you would get other distributors to get on auto ship, and there wasn't even a focus on customer acquisition. Like as an independent distributor going out and gathering other customers. I think that was like in the mid-90s where I saw a lot of that happening. In today's marketplace, with the regulatory agencies and so on, it's very important, critically important for you to focus on customer acquisition. I'm seeing a lot of companies that are. In fact, I'm seeing companies that are very, I would call them customer-centric, because they lead with the product. In fact, in many cases, that is a big advantage, because if you're leading with the product, you end up having someone who has a great product experience first before they ever even move into getting involved in the business. And a lot of times those people are essentially better producers or better distributors, because they're coming from a passion and a true experience around the actual product that they're or service that they're using. So enough on that. Here's what I want to talk about today. How do you keep your customers once you get them? So I think it was, I was watching, let me think for a second. I think it was Jeff Roberti talked about this at a recent event that I saw him speaking at. And I think this is a good way of putting it. Month one, you've made a sale. Month two, you have a customer. In other words, the first month, okay, you got somebody to buy your stuff. You've made a sale. The second month, if they continue, you now have a customer. But the key is, how do you go from month one to month two? So let me talk about that. And this is the same whether it's a service or a product that you're marketing. So here's the thing. If let's say I've gotten you on my product, and you got a box coming to your door. We're talking about a physical product. If I'm in those shoes, what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to say, look, call me as soon as you get that box. So I want to go through what's in the box and make sure you understand how to use the product. So it's really important for you to teach people how to use whatever product or service it is that you're marketing, because we can't assume that somebody knows how to use your service, for example, or use your product. Okay, let's say it's a nutritional shake. Well, yeah, most people could probably know how to make a nutritional shake. It's pretty simple. Add water, mix, and done, right? But here's the thing. You know as well as I do that if you were to take a lukewarm water and throw whatever shake is in there and shake it up and drink it, even if your shake is great tasting, it's not going to be as good of an experience as if somebody throws a few ice cubes in there, some icy cold water, and throws it into a blender, and it just turns into this frothy, icy cold, delicious, delightful shake. The end user experience in that case is going to be better than, lukewarm water and throwing it in a shaker cup. So you want to make sure that you do, regardless of whatever your product or service is, do the best job of helping your new customer have the best experience in terms of how they're going to consume it. So the great example here is obviously lukewarm water versus icy cold frothy shake as an example, and you can figure that out with whatever type of product or service that you're marketing. The other thing is, it's not going to become habit for a person until we help them make it habit. So actually, before I even get into that, let me say this. Number two is, if your product let's say we're talking from a product standpoint, if your product may have a potential side effect with a percentage of people that use it. Let's say, for example, you've got some some kind of skincare something or other, and the first time you use it, there's a percentage of people that, because it's so effective, that they may have like an itchy thing or a rash on their skin, and it's because their skin is detoxing. I'm just making stuff up here, right? But if a percentage of people that's possible, and you don't tell the person, hey, you know what, a small percentage of people, what happens when they use this stuff, they may get a slight rash that'll be around for a day or so. That's basically your skin detoxing, or however you're going to explain it to them, right? If you don't tell that to them and they end up having this rash and they're like, oh my gosh, I got a rash, this stuff is awful, they're going to stop using the product. But if you tell them ahead of time, then they're going to go, oh yeah, this is what Todd told me about. So, or if we're talking about a nutritional supplement, hey, first couple days you might get a headache. Well, if they got the headache and you didn't tell them about it, and they get the headache, they're going, oh my gosh, I have a headache, and the only thing differently that I've done is this product. Oh, that must be bad. So we have to make sure that we tell people what the experience may be like. So if there are any potential side effects of course, we're talking products in this case, don't ignore that stuff. Hey, John, by the way, percentage of people this happens. Just be aware if that's the case. Just drink more water, and that that detox headache will go away probably within the first few hours, as an example, right? And if it's a service, and if you're providing a service to somebody, and there's a learning curve, we got to teach people how to use the service. How to log in and how to access or how to utilize whatever it is that you're making available. So now that's the beginning part. So I want to make sure that we communicate immediately as soon as that person gets their product or their service, that I set some time aside to make sure that they know how to use it. And then I'm going to follow up with these people first week a couple times to make sure that they're using it. Because how many times have you sold somebody product and 3 weeks in, the product's still sitting on their counter and they haven't even opened it up yet? Well, a way to avoid, and by the way, the worst part about that is, especially if you set them up on an auto ship, they're 3 weeks in, they haven't even opened up their first box, and now a week later they get another box. They're like, oh, wait a second. I better cancel my auto ship. I haven't even opened up this first one. So we got to make it habit very, very quickly. We've got to teach them how to use these products and services and help them to have the best possible experience that they can. And ideally, that's what you're looking to do, is help them create their own product or service story where they're like, oh my gosh, I feel amazing, or this thing's really enhanced my life by using this service, and help them have that experience, because then you take somebody who you just made a sale to, and then the next month they really become a customer. And by the way, I would continue to follow up with these people over an extended period of time, not just the first week, over the first couple weeks, the first few weeks, the first month, first few months, and then quite frankly, long term, I would still continue to follow. Hey, John, by the way, we got this new flavor that came out, or hey, we've got this new thing. Did you hear about this? I want to make sure you knew about it. And that way you can essentially upsell or provide suggestions to someone who's already a raving fan about your products, and help them discover new products or new lines that are underneath the umbrella of goods and services that you offer. So the key in keeping customers is follow-up and staying on top of people over an extended period of time until we help them make it habit for themselves. So do yourself a favor. Don't just go sign somebody up on your product and keep your fingers crossed and hope that it works. It's the same thing with enrolling a distributor. We want to follow up with people. We want to be engaged with them, and you're more likely to retain customers that way. You're certainly more likely to retain distributors that way. This is Todd Falcone. It's good to be back on video, and we'll see you on a future one somewhere soon. Have an amazing day. Thanks for watching.